Laetare, rejoice. This is the fourth Sunday of Lent. It marks the halfway point in our Lenten journey. And so when you go to church this weekend, hopefully you will see the rose color, the blossoming of flowers, the instrumental music all having returned for this moment of celebration, a hope that reminds us Easter is just around the corner. Let's dive into our scriptures. 1 Samuel is our first reading today. And this is the story of how the prophet Samuel seeks out Jesse and his sons and is looking for the one that God has chosen. Samuel doesn't know who this is. He's a man walking in darkness. And it is the Lord who will reveal to him young David, the shepherd boy, who should be anointed king. And so Samuel anoints him with that oil, and the gladness of that anointing, the goodness, the promise of a shepherd to be, is born in ancient Israel. In St. Paul's letter to the Ephesians, we also have a story about faith growing, that we are in darkness and we do not see clearly, and everything in darkness is shrouded. But as soon as things come to the light, all things are made visible. Nothing can hide in the light. And it is God who shines his light upon us to change everything. It's more than just a perspective change. It's a reality change. Our life is different because Christ has come into it. Our gospel today comes from St. John. And again, this is a beautiful portrayal of Jesus bringing someone to faith. Again, last Sunday, we started with the scrutinies, and so we had our first scrutiny. This Sunday, we have our second scrutiny of those to be baptized. And these readings are chosen specifically for them, because those who are preparing for baptism are men and women coming out of darkness in moving into the light. This gospel today is about a man born blind, and he comes to Jesus seeking sight. And the Lord heals him and gives him sight, and it creates a whole hubbub among the ancient leaders. They want to know who healed you and on what authority did he heal you. And this man doesn't really know exactly who Jesus is. But when Jesus encounters him and shows him who he is, all of a sudden, not only does he see with his eyes, but he sees with faith. You are the Messiah, the one who is coming into the world. He puts his faith into him, and then he sees better than he did when his eyes were restored, because the eyes of his soul have been healed, and he sees God for who he really is. We are reminded by these readings that faith gives us sight, that if we see, if we listen to where God is leading, if we recognize what he is doing, if we live by faith, then the darkness of the world cannot overcome. Indeed, we will see all things by the light of God's faith.